Day number 2 of World's Strongest Man, and there is more incredible, exciting results coming through. If you like these videos, please remember to give them a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Auntie Liz, what's been happening on day number 2?
This year's World's Strongest Man is a wild ride. Now, we knew it was going to be. Lots of new faces this year, 4 returning champions, but seeing the results come through, some of them, I'm like, what? And then I see something else, I'm like, what? To go back to yesterday's video, on there we said that Evan Singleton had withdrawn from the competition, which was the case at the time. He actually suffered some sort of allergic reaction, a severe allergic reaction, which sent him to hospital. But he came back, he wanted to compete, he had to go through the whole medical process again, and he was cleared to compete. So Evan Singleton, having missed the deadlift ladder, is now back in the competition. That is, like, it takes some balls, doesn't it? Sorry to be crude, but...
It really does.
Yeah.
And we will get to Group 5 in a bit, but it's great to know that Evan's back in the competition. Lights that group on fire again.
Yes, definitely. We need Evan in this competition. Love or hate him, we need him. So event number 1 today then, it was the car walk, around about 430 kilos.
430 kilos, 950 pound car. They have to pick the car up and imagine they are Fred Flintstone and run down that course as fast as possible. One of my personal favourites when I was competing, so I've been looking forward to seeing this today. And we've had some impressive times.
We really have. So obviously group 1 was up first.
So I'll quickly go through the group in reverse order. We had Manuel Angulo. He just about finished the course in the time limit. He came 6th. Andy Black did the full distance in 32.71. Then it's where it gets close. Ivers and Kevin Fairs are kind of the 2 guys you'd be expecting to end up in the stone off, really, when you go on paper.
That was our prediction.
It was. But Ivers actually placed 4th in this event. He was just behind Kevin Fairs. Gabriel Rayum taking 2nd place. Gabriel is doing amazing.
We seriously underestimated this guy, didn't we? I mean, we've only really seen him in one international competition, which was the Shaw Classic last year.
We should know by now never to underestimate
a Canadian
champion. Not just a Canadian, but he is the current Canada's strongest man.
You're right.
JF Caron says he's good. He's obviously good, and he's proving it today. But the winner in Group 1, having his 3rd win in a row, the current champion, Tom Stoltman, absolutely having a blistering run in his heat this year so far at World's Strongest Man.
Group 1 log lift then, Lozzie. The next event, the last event of the day, and it's a 145 kilo log lift for reps. Big Tommy.
Big Tommy taking the win, 8 repetitions in group number 1. And Kevin Fairs really kind of put himself in a secure 2nd place right now. He came 2nd on the log, hitting 7 reps. And the real surprise of this group for me, Gabriel Rayum has really been another revelation. A new athlete, first timer at World's Strongest Man. He is now starting to separate himself away from Ivers Schmauskas, the former finalist. Gabriel is now looking like he's going to be the next, the 3rd place finisher in this group. I mean, anything is still possible.
Yeah, and Ivers has incredible grip as well.
Ivers has a great grip, but he's 3 points behind now. So that's quite a big gap to jump up, especially when you look at some of the other people in the group.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, Manuel has pretty much come last on every event. He zeroed the log. Andy Black stepped in as the reserve very last minute, obviously not well prepared for this competition.
He zeroed the log too, but that is a weakness for Andy, isn't it?
And I think Tom Stoltman now has got an unassailable lead. He may just finally just picks up the implement and puts it down tomorrow. I've got a feeling some of these guys that have put themselves into that, qualifying position, they're going to try and save energy. So for me, I think we're going to see Kevin Fairs secure 2nd place. Gabriel, it's still possible for Ivers to get into that stone off, but for me, I think it's going to be those top 3. Tom sailing through in 1st place, and I think we're going to see a real battle on the stones between Kevin and Gabriel.
Now, group number 2. My God, this has been the group to watch this year. So this group has the absolute rookie, Mitch Hooper. And I cannot stress this enough. This is his first international competition and his first pro competition. He won both events yesterday. He says yoke is his favourite event, but he's never done a car walk. And it's different, isn't it? Like,
it is different,
The chances are if you're good at one, you'll be good at both. But there was the risk that a mistake might be made because it is a little bit different. But
well, let me just go through the results.
Go on.
I mean, bear in mind the standard of athletes in this group. Gabe Pena didn't finish the car walk. No. Gabe had a great day yesterday. I think he knew this isn't his favourite event, but it's not the start he wanted. He would have wanted better than this to keep the pressure on the guys that are all going to be fighting for that qualifying position. In 5th place, 4-time world's strongest man, Brian Shaw. I was shocked to see this result. Brian Shaw is normally a very, very competent car walker, yoke racer. You know, he's always been good at these type of events.
But you did say this in our predictions. Brian would prefer it heavier because Brian will go the same speed with 400 kilos as he will with 580 kilos, won't he? It's the same speed.
It's a fair argument. It is a fair argument about Brian. He does like the heavier events. But I'd still expect him to be quicker than this, to be honest. I mean, his time's not bad at all. He's sub 20 seconds. So, you know, it's a faster group, this one is, than, say, some of the other groups. We'll compare across them all. But I still would have expected better. I've seen Brian do heavier yokes than this in quicker times. So I was a little bit surprised at that one. So Konstantin Janasha pips Brian Shaw to take 4th place. 3rd place was Bobby Thompson. Now, this is a good result for Bobby.
Yeah, very
Bobby
good.
has probably his best event to come in the log lift. He needs a good performance on the car walk, and he's absolutely done it. He's putting himself in position to get to another final. Now, this result just makes me happy. 13.96 seconds would have been a winning time in group number 1. The legend that is Mark Felix.
Yeah. 56 years old.
Before the competition started, I said, Mark's got some good events. I said the grip hold will be really good for him. The car walk, and of course the deadlift. Unfortunately, he did not have the performance we'd expect from Mark Felix on the deadlift. But he's cleared his head and he's come back today and put in a blistering performance. But it was only good enough for 2nd place. Because in 1st place, for the 3rd time in this group, with a time of 11.64, the novice, the moose, Mitch Hooper. What is this guy made of? Where's he come from? This is just incredible performance from a rookie. I mean, we keep saying he's a rookie. I've seen incredible videos of him training in the gym.
Yeah.
But to be backing it up, and he seems calm, and he seems relaxed, and he's enjoying it. Wow.
It's incredible. I've been speaking to Mitch today. I didn't mean to intrude. I just wanted to wish him good luck. But he's so chatty and laid back. He's like, yeah. And then after the car walk result came through, I was like, bloody hell, Mitch, well done. And he goes to me, I'm just doing what I said I could do. And I was like, yeah, but you're actually doing it.
Well, there's a difference between talking about doing it and backing it up. And Mitch, fair play, you are backing it up.
Into the log then. And this was so important for Brian.
This group just... this weekend has kind of been
mental. It's aged us.
It really has. Brian Shaw pulling himself back into this competition. 7 reps. 7 reps was only good enough for joint 2nd place with Mitch Hooper. Mitch Hooper again proving there's no weakness in this guy. No. First place, and now a joint 2nd place because one man managed to beat them both. Yeah. Bobby Thompson coming out on top with 8 repetitions. Bobby needed this. We know how strong Bobby is. He wanted the win on the log and he needed it. He's put himself in a good position.
Mark Felix, though, with 0 reps, and we knew this was a possibility, and that's why Mark really needed a better result on the deadlift and the loading in day 1.
Yeah, he didn't have a good day 1. The car walk kind of gave us hope that Mark could pull something out the bag. Unfortunately, the log has just let him down at the last minute. Even with a big performance tomorrow on the grip hold, the wrecking ball hold.
It's not going to be enough.
It's not going to be enough. So Mitch Hooper really dominating this competition. I've been so impressed with this guy. He's the current leader in group number 2 with 22.5 points. Bobby Thompson doing everything he can to really keep the pressure on. He knows he's going to need that advantage going into the stones. He's got 17 points. Brian Shaw on 13.5. Then we've got Gabe Pena on 11, Konstantin Janasha on 10, and Mark Felix on 9. For me again now, the top 3 have separated themselves. Brian has a great grip. Mitch Hooper is in an incredible position. Bobby, I feel, has stretched himself far away to make sure he's into the stone off. It's important for Bobby that he stays ahead of Brian.
He has to be in 2nd place in the stone off to have a chance to win it. Yeah.
I mean, Brian is one of the best stone lifters we've ever seen. You know he's going to bring it.
Now this is a fun group 3. Probably not for the people in it, but I'm enjoying this group. Alexei Novikov, he won the first 2 events yesterday. Car walk is a brilliant event for him. He won it at Europe's Strongest Man, but he has some fast people in this group. One of them, obviously, Rob Kearney.
Well, it's probably one of Rob's favourite events.
Definitely.
And he really delivered. But I'll go in reverse order. Mika Toro, the giant Finnish athlete. He's very good at some events. Very tall man. Doesn't like car walk so much. Unfortunately, 9.5 metres on the car for Mika Toro. 5th place, and I think he would have been hoping for more on this event, was Adam Bishop. Adam had a brilliant first day. 2nd place on those first 2 events. I think he wanted a little bit more than this. But
Adam's usually a bit better on yoke than he is on a car walk.
yeah, he's an exceptional yoke runner. You know, I've competed against Adam so many times, and he's always been really good. Doesn't quite seem to be as quick when it comes to the car. I'm not sure why, because he's such an athlete and fast as well. So in 4th place with a time of 19.24, Trey Mitchell. Now, Trey has some good events still to come.
Yeah, that's a solid result for Trey.
It is. Sub 20 seconds for Trey on that. Decent performance. He's never the fastest guy.
No.
He's just a bit like Brian. He kind of goes the same speed with whatever the weight is.
Yeah, you can chuck literally anything on Trey. He's like a camel.
That's one way of looking at it. Now, this one surprises me. In 3rd place, Alexei Novikov in a time of 15:23. I was expecting quicker from Alexei.
Yeah.
Now, without seeing the videos and kind of knowing what happened, I'm not going to speculate on anything, but he was looking solid yesterday. I mean, 3rd place is still a comfortable position for him to be in.
And with one of the people being behind Rob Kearney, who...
Rob's capable of beating anyone when it comes to this event, so that doesn't surprise me. But Gregors Szymanski.
Yeah,
Gregors with a great time, 14:26, taking 2nd place in the car walk.
Good for Gregors. And we said this in the profile, like he was such a good speedy athlete for loading and yokes and all that kind of stuff. And the loading didn't quite go as we'd hoped because he didn't actually finish, did he? He got 4 fast, but then couldn't do the 5th for whatever reason. We're still not sure, but it's great to see him get a good result on
It's
the
really
car
good
walk.
to see him get some points in there, especially everything he's gone through to be back. Right. I want you guys to remember the time that Mitch Hooper did. Mitch did the car walk in 11:64. Rob Kearney did the car walk in 11:63.
And it's worth pointing out as well, in something like a car walk, it's not like, oh, I just do what I need to do. These guys don't want to be under a car for any longer than absolutely necessary.
It's actually the best way to do it is just go as quick as you can.
Yeah, that's the safest way to do it, because the longer it's on you, the more it's taxing your central nervous system. I only know this because he tells me this.
Yeah, it is very much like that. When you're really fast at these type of events, you're not under the weight for so long, so it's actually more of a rest if you can get it done quickly.
Yeah.
You don't want to be plodding with a car. Anytime I sort of trained and I just plodded, it felt worse.
Yeah.
So you just try and kind of blast through it as quick as you can. And Rob Kearney back into the mix. It's great to see because he didn't have a good first day. He's got a log coming. Much better looking day for Rob Kearney.
And going into the log lift then, some close battles again, with Alexei and Trey tying for the win on this. Who would have thought Alexei tying with Trey on a log lift?
Alexei's a great athlete and
I
very, very
know.
fit. You know, we've kind of mentioned that before. There's guys that maybe are better for 1 rep, but Alexei, he's just a phenomenal all-round athlete. And yeah, Trey Mitchell and Alexei both getting 9 repetitions, joint first place. That's what Alexei needed. He's kind of really probably in a position now where he can take his foot off the gas. I don't think he will. He's just that kind of guy. I think he'll keep going, make sure he secures that first place tomorrow. But the real battle, Rob Kearney, Trey Mitchell and Adam Bishop. Adam Bishop got 7 reps. Rob Kearney, after that incredible performance in the car, got 6 repetitions, and we really felt maybe he needed a little bit better on this one because grip has not notoriously been his best event.
Yeah.
That being said, Trey is not overly known as having a super grip.
No, he doesn't. No.
And neither is Adam.
No, so it could, the next event could really change everything in this group because it's still quite close. Yeah, it is still so close. Nothing is
And who knows,
guaranteed.
someone like Mika Toro and Szymanski could cause them problems by getting in between any of them.
I bet Mick Toro's he must have some good grip. The mitts on that man.
He's got to have a good grip.
I think Alexei takes no chances tomorrow. I think he tries to win the wrecking ball hold because he doesn't want to be in the stone off. And he
Do you know,
absolutely
Alexei's
doesn't want to
another
go
one as
home.
well that doesn't have a phenomenal grip. There's no one that stands out in this group that you think, yes, they're going to win that event. And we've said already, it's a different type of grip event.
Yeah, Alexei Novikov wins on mental toughness. There you go. I'm calling
Auntie
it.
Liz's prediction. There we go. But he's in a great position. It's going to be a real battle between Adam Bishop, Trey Mitchell, and Rob Kearney to see who gets into the stone off.
Group 4 then, and we should start this by saying that unfortunately Shane Flowers had to withdraw today. I spoke to Shane also. He injured his foot. He came in with a boot and he's literally just been taking his boot off to do the event. So obviously horribly painful for Shane, and the car walk is just going to be too much, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Not how he wanted to do his first World's Strongest Man, but I am absolutely convinced he's going to be back at this competition because he's such a great up-and-comer, isn't he?
Well, he's another one that's not done many competitions, kind of burst onto the scene. Give him another year of hard training, he's going to be a real threat.
So where does that leave us with the guys that did do the event?
Okay, so with Shane withdrawing, in 5th place we have Nedsmin. Nedsmin is not having the best of time. I've heard there's been a few issues for Nedsmin.
Personal problems.
He's struggling mentally to just even be focused right now. So that's a real shame. In 4th place, we had Maxime Boudreau.
Yeah.
Yoke is not the best event for him. Car walk, obviously, a little bit more tricky. He's been training it and improving, but very short period of time to try and improve on that one. 49.28 to finish the course. That's going to take it out of him as well.
I was just about to say that. That's rough going to have that car on you all that time.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, you get it done quicker, it saves a lot of energy. In 3rd place is Gav Bilton, and we mentioned yesterday how well Gav's doing. And last time we saw Gav do a car walk was Europe's Strongest Man last year, where he went about 7 meters and collapsed.
Yeah.
So to see him come to World's Strongest Man and blitz a really impressive time for Gav, 23.67, finish the course, he's feeling fitter, he's feeling stronger, and he's really performing as an all-round athlete. It's so good to see because he has had his issues, but Gav is pushing everyone hard in this group, and he's got a chance of getting through.
He really does.
So 2nd place was Martins Listis. Mr. Consistency, 2 wins yesterday. 2nd place today. He is doing what he needs to do. Professional as always. 2019 World's Strongest Man. As it stands, looks to be cruising in to another final. And then so good to see this guy take the win. Pavlo Kordiaka. We've kind of really warmed to Pavlo, haven't we, since we met him last year at OSG.
We love Pavlo. He's so sweet.
He's a great all-round athlete, very fast, very explosive, and he takes the win here in 12.92. And that battle to get into those stone-offs is getting tight in this group.
It really is. It's so funny when we talk about Pavlo. I'm like, oh, he's so sweet. And you're like, oh, he's a very fast, athletic person. This goes to show where we're coming from.
Well, I respect his athletic ability. I don't want to sort of cradle him in my arms and rock him to bed.
Well, I don't want to do that, Lozzie. Let's calm down a little bit. Oh, and it's all changed now going into the log. I mean, we've talked about Maxime as a great log lifter, but 10 reps, Viper pressing them all. Every one of them.
Look, Maxime needed a big performance here. He really did. And it's exactly what he's done. I mean, the position, the reps and the standard just seems to get better with each group. Maxime, 10 repetitions, floor to overhead in 75 seconds. That is working. Pavlo Kordiaka and Martins, Mr. Martins Listis, performing again. 9 repetitions each. 3 guys doing 9 or more reps in the same group. That is a tough group. And poor Gav Bilton. He's put in a huge performance in this competition, but he is in just a tough group. 7 repetitions Gav got, and he's still in with a shot. Gav is in 4th place with 15 points. Pavlo Kordiaka, 16.5 points. Then we've got Maxime on 17 points, and looking like he's in a safer position now. Martins Listis. Martin as well has a very good grip, but it's all going to be a battle tomorrow on that wrecking ball hold.
And I mean, it's looking very good for Maxime being in the stone off because he has incredible grip. If he is in the stone off, no one's going to want to go in with a disadvantage to Maxime when he is one of the best stone lifters in the world. So, Pavlo's going to have to beat him. I mean, Pavlo's only half a point behind, so it's possible. But it's going to be a battle. Maxime is one of the best stone lifters in the world. I think that log lift has just maybe got him through to the final.
So group number 5, we've got the return of Evan Singleton. Terrible day for him yesterday. 2nd from last in the loading and didn't even attempt the deadlift, which means...
He was in hospital.
Well, yeah. But when you don't attempt anything, you 0. And 0 on an event costs you a lot.
Painful.
He has got a mammoth task ahead of him if he wants to try and get himself into that stone off. So in 6th place is Kim Lorentzen. He did 11.4 meters of the course. Next up we had Kelvin de Ruyter placing 5th, and then we had Coco Jean-Steven Cordoboeuf from France taking 4th place. So top 3, Aithor Ingelsson Melstead taking 4 points. He's been very consistent.
Yeah.
Aithor is just a solid performer, and we said that before the competition.
We did.
He's one of those guys, no incredible strengths,
no,
but
no
not really any weaknesses either.
either.
So he can just kind of consistently chip away and make himself a problem for everyone.
He made the final last year as well.
Absolutely. Then we had the group leader, Luke Stoltman, putting in a very solid time, 16:65. This is an event he's really improved on over the years. 2nd place for Luke, so he won the 2 events yesterday. Finally, not a win, but he's cruising into that final.
Yeah.
But the returning Evan Singleton, wait for this time, 9.86 seconds. Maximum points. He still has a mammoth task.
He really does.
But he's holding on by a string.
By a T-Rex
by a thread.
claw.
He's clawing back some points. So
what can you say? That is a gutsy performance.
to come back after what happened yesterday, going to hospital, completely zeroing an event, doing badly on the first event as well.
Yeah.
And to say, right, I'm still going to keep trying.
Yeah. Good. Fair play to Evan. I know he's not everyone's cup of tea, but come on, the man is backing it up. He is doing his absolute best out there. We know what Evan's capable of. He's won 3 international competitions in his very short career.
Yeah, he's just seemed to have very bad luck at World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
But he's fighting, and there's an event win for Evan Singleton.
And just like that, my hopes and dreams are dashed.
Well, Evan, the car walk, we were all so excited. Could he do the impossible?
What a story.
What a story it would have been, but unfortunately for Evan. Kelvin de Ruyter was first out along with Kim Lorentzen. Kim doing really well, hitting 6 reps. Kelvin, as expected, not so good on the log, 1 repetition for him. Coco Jean-Steven Cordoboeuf doing 7 repetitions. This was a big performance, but it wasn't enough to stop the Icelander Aithor Melstead with 8 repetitions. Big performance by the very steady performer Aithor is. He's one of those guys, nothing flashy, nothing crazy, but a good, solid strongman. And then we had the big man, Luke Stoltman versus the comeback kid. Was it possible?
No. The short answer.
Auntie Liz, it's kind of dashed all our hopes. Luke Stoltman, unbelievable. 10 repetitions.
It's on the screen anyway.
You guys can see here. Unfortunately, Evan only 1 repetition. He came into this competition with a shoulder issue. Clearly, it's still a problem. He's a great strongman, and I think, a lot of people really expected him to get to the final this year.
They're great events for him. I still think he'll probably win the Wrecking Ball hold tomorrow, but it's not mathematically
possible now. He's put himself out of contention, 9.5 points, and Coco is on 15 points. Coco only needs to turn up.
Yeah,
as long as Coco can lift up the Wrecking Ball tomorrow, Evan Singleton cannot get into the stone off. So we're going to have a battle most likely between Jean-Steven Cordoboeuf and Aithor Melstead on the Atlas Stones. Luke Stoltman there on 23 points, Aithor on 16, Cordoboeuf on 15. You guys can see it on the screen. I don't need to point it all out for you. We're going to have some battles. Tomorrow is going to be interesting. I think most of the heavy favourites now in the groups are safe.
Yeah, it does feel that way. Except maybe Brian.
Brian Shaw.
Yeah.
Although
he's in a much safer position after the log than he was after the car walk.
Yeah, he's got himself back into contention. But what a day it's been. Shock results again.
Madness.
Amazing performances. The heat that they contended with, it was over 102 degrees Fahrenheit, 39 degrees Celsius. That is brutal. And these athletes are not just fighting against each other, they're fighting the implements and the conditions as well. World's Strongest Man is always a tough show. I hope you've enjoyed our coverage and analysis of day number 2.
And we will be back with the exact same thing tomorrow. Tomorrow, Wrecking Ball hold and the stone off. Ooh.
Tomorrow we know our finalists. Thank you guys for joining us. Remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment below with who you think's going to get through, who you think's going to win, and we'll see you tomorrow.